My best friend cheated on her boyfriend, so I invited them both over to dinner without telling them that the other is coming, and it was the biggest mistake of my life. I had a thought to myself, where I pondered about what would happen were I to invite them both over to dinner, without telling them that each other is coming. Chase is a mutual friend and I have no doubts he would come over. I also stumbled upon this exact scene in The Simpsons with Apu and Manjula, and considering they got back together at the end of the episode, I figured why not give it a shot. 2 days ago I contacted them both separately, and invited them over for dinner the next day. I told Jess I just wanted to spend time with her. And I told Chase that Jess was being secretive about what she had done and why you ended the relationship, and I wanted to find out from the source. They both accepted and my plan was underway. The next evening they came over. Well, Jess showed up first, a few minutes before she was supposed to arrive, and we started chatting away. Then the doorbell rang a few minutes later. Jess looked confused and I told her that I had invited someone else over for dinner. It was of course Chase. I welcomed him in and he walked into the kitchen to see Jess. As soon as he saw Jess he began yelling, "What the F? You invited me here to surprise me with this beach whose legs are spread more than a hook RS on a Saturday night, what the F?" And he went to turn around and walk out. I rushed over to him of course and tried to get him to calm down. But he wasn't having any of it. He went to put his jacket back on and walk out, all while Jess was yelling over him, but I stood in between him and the door and told him that he is not leaving here until he has a normal and civil discussion with Jess, and where they can reach some sort of compromise. Chase, seeing that there was no way out, gave in. He sat down at the table, but refused a portion of dinner. Jess refused too, so I was eating alone. From my immediate first impression, Jess seemed more thrilled about this plan of mine than Chase did, but I was doing it for his own good too. Slowly but surely I pried Chase open and got information out of him and did my best to sway him into forgiving Jess, and I truly thought it was working at one point. But at some point throughout the talk Jess said, "Why can't you forgive me like last time?" Something clicked in my head. Last time? I asked Jess. She seemed caught off guard immediately, and began stumbling over her words. Chase then budged in, "Oh, she hasn't told you, has she? She cheated on me before and I forgave her." My eyes flew open and I asked Jess if it was true. She started crying and admitted that she had cheated before on Chase, and this was the second time she was begging for forgiveness from him. When I asked her how could she not tell me this, she replied saying she was too ashamed and proceeded to leave immediately, still in tears. Chase sat there looking smug, and he asked me if I was done. I told I was sorry and that I didn't know, and he replied saying that me doing this was the dumbest thing ever. He left shortly after too, but before he did he said that he had to go check on her to make sure she doesn't off herself. I asked him what he meant and Chase told me that Jess, a few months prior, had told him if he ever leaves her she will end herself as he is the only good thing in her life. I asked him if he thinks she meant it, and he said most likely not, but advised me to reach out to her to make sure she doesn't do anything stupid. That's what I've been trying to do, but I've had no luck yet. I'm really worried for Jess.